Giannis Antetokounmpo is a member of the Miami Heat. And then the other thing that happened last night, before I give you an opinion, let me at least say I understand why you want to laugh. And you should.
We already are.
Because I get the full irony that in June of 2019, while I was ecstatic as all hell, asking you people who's laughing now because Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving chose the Brooklyn Nets, your booby prize was Julius Randle. And here we are, 7 years later. Durant and Kyrie are nowhere to be seen. The New York Knicks are NBA champions. And the big move made by the big Australian who still has a job is for the Nets to acquire Julius Randle. I understand the humor. I understand the story arc. And I understand any Knicks fan that wants to have a belly laugh.
Well, it's not a belly laugh. I don't want to say you feel sorry because Julius Randle is still a good player. He's not going to be a superstar that everybody thought he was going to be at one point, but he's a very good player for a team that is going to have a ton of young kids on it, and you need a veteran presence. I almost feel like for Julius Randle, he's like, yeah, get me back to New York. I know the Knicks aren't going to take me, but I like New York, so I'm going to go back to Brooklyn. But it almost, in some ways, feels bizarre because it doesn't fit. How does he fit with the Brooklyn Nets?
Well, a couple of things.
What is his role going to be?
Before I even tell you if I like the trade or not, because I haven't even said that. All I said is I understand the irony and I understand laughing about it because everything I laid out is true. What happened in 2019, the Julius Randle odyssey with the New York Knicks, what the Nets thought they were going to do and where we are now. I understand that if I could tap on the shoulder of Evan Roberts 7 years ago and say, I got a story for you. Julius is going to be the most popular guy in New York. Then he's going to be hated. Then he's going to be popular again. And oh, by the way, he's going to be traded for what turns out to be the final piece of a championship puzzle for the New York Knicks. And oh, by the way, the Nets are going to suck and flame out. I would have said, you're on crack. Like, I wouldn't have believed that. So I understand that aspect of it. From a basketball standpoint, the Brooklyn Nets got better last night. Now, I have never been a huge fan of Julius Randle. I'm not going to hide that. There was a time in which I was very high on Nicholas Claxton. I thought he had a chance to be a star. But I think after Durant and Kyrie were traded away, Nicholas Claxton was exposed for a myriad of reasons. And so he isn't a guy I'm building around, and he isn't a guy that needed to be on this roster. Julius Randle, even at 31-32, is better than Nick Claxton. The Brooklyn Nets became a better team last night. And they moved up 5 slots in the NBA draft, and they still have cap space. So from a basketball standpoint, I'm not hating it. I just understand the awkwardness of it. Like, for example.
But why is it awkward?
Well, I just laid out 8 reasons. You want a 9th reason?
Because Knicks fans are going to mock you?
I don't care if people mock. I just understand the irony of all of it.
I don't think Knicks fans care right now. I don't think it's on their radar to think about Julius Randle being with the Nets. Right? So it is mockable, but I don't think Knicks fans are going to mock you.
Okay, then screw them.
Right.
Here's the awkward conversation. I spent 4 years teaching my kids that Julius Randle sucks and that he's lazy and that Kevin Durant is so much better.
See, that's your problem.
And I had to have the awkward conversation this morning. I was like, remember that Julius Randle guy? And Jet's like, yeah, I kind of remember. He sucks, right?
It's 1 year. Maybe they'll be so bad your kids won't want to pay attention and they don't remember.
Well, that's not the goal. The goal is actually to be good. The days of tanking is over. The Nets had 2 years of tanking.
Really?
Unfortunately, yeah. Tanking's done in the NBA. Tanking's done for the Nets since they don't own their own pick. The Rockets have a right to swap, and certainly based on the new tanking rules, tanking's done, which is why the Nets got better. Now, did they get better enough to compete with the New York Knicks? No. Did they get better enough to be a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference? No. Did they get better enough to hopefully play competitive basketball games that leads them to a play-in tournament? I hope so. There's still a lot of work to be done. But I think if you take the emotion out or the comedy out of Julius Randle and who he is and his legacy with the Knicks, I think the Nets clearly made a trade that made him better. They moved up 5 slots in the NBA draft. They go from 33 to 28. They rid themselves of a player. It's unfortunate that I have to describe it as ridding themselves because, again, I really like Nick Claxton. Right. It just didn't work. And they got a guy who you expect to be hungry and a guy who, for the most part, plays. I am curious about the fit next to Michael Porter Jr., but they're very different. Michael Porter Jr. is a great spot-up shooter. The Nets could surround Julius with shooters, and maybe the double teams that he gets could lead to open shots for Igor Joman and whoever they draft tonight at 6. So from a basketball standpoint, it's fine. It's just weird. 2 things can be true at the same time. It's weird. And when I first heard it, my reaction was, oh my God, I got to root for Julius Randle. But at the end of the day, and it's a very simple question, and I think you're an honest guy, Tiki.
I am.
Are the Brooklyn Nets a better team today than they were yesterday?
I mean, I barely paid attention to them last year, so I don't even know how bad they were.
They were bad, bro.
We did go to a game, so I mean, we know they're okay. But are they better? Sure, because Julius Randle, we saw it with the Knicks. He brought a different energy. He helped them take that, whatever you want to call it, first step up the ladder that ultimately led to the championship for them. Obviously, he wasn't a part of it, but you know what his role is going to be. He's the veteran leader on this team, and he can still play at a pretty high level.
I got to hand it.
Yes, they did get better.
That's it, and that's what they did, and they moved up 5 slots in the draft. So that's really the story. I think it becomes a little bit more appealing because it is Julius Randle, and he has these ties to the New York Knicks. And the other thing I thought about with Julius was about his young son, because I'll never forget after the Nets beat the Knicks for like the 500th time, his adorable young son was screaming, "I hate them." And his mom was like kind of having fun with it. And she's like, "Who do you hate?" And he's like, "Them." And he points at a picture of Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. And his son, I think his name is Kyron, did record a video last night saying, "Let's go Nets." So happy to be back in New York. So that whole story.
He was like ridiculously young.
He was very young.
Yeah. He didn't know what he was talking about.
It was one of those stories. It was like kind of adorable, but then as a Net fan, I enjoyed it. So I like the full story arc for him that now he gets to come back and say, "Let's go Nets." Now, the other basketball aspect, and this is a very different perch Knicks fans are sitting in, because you get to sit, high in the castle and kind of laugh at everybody and mock everybody and critique everybody. So you made a fair point that maybe some Knicks fans don't care about Julius Randle's return to New York City. Totally fine. I think there are some that do. I think there are some that are maybe happy for Julius. There are some that want to mock the Nets. There are some that don't care. The other thing you get to do in your perch, you arrogant Knicks fans, you've earned that arrogance though, is you get to watch Giannis scuttle his way to Miami. Now, I mentioned yesterday, if I'm a Knicks fan, I'm not worried about Giannis, but I'd prefer him go to Boston because it's only one potential monster versus 2. So I don't think this was the best case scenario for Giannis to go to Miami, but I'm also not as scared of Miami.
Yeah, you also think from a team with talent standpoint, it spreads out the elite talent. And so instead of having 2 really elite players on one team, say Boston, it's now kind of one on each, or 2 on. I guess Jaylen Brown is still up there, maybe.
Well, that's another story we'll get to in a minute. Yeah,
but either way, it just feels like there's not these 2 MVP type candidates on one team. That's why I wanted him to go to Miami,
but
as opposed to go to Boston.
A potential another contender. True. If you look at Miami's roster off of this trade, and I thought the Bucks did okay. I thought the Bucks did exactly how we figured they'd do. They get a couple of good young pieces. I mean, Tyler Hero is still pretty young, even though he's making a lot of money, and it seems like he's been around for a while. They got multiple first-round picks. I mean, the Bucks are rebuilding. This is exactly the kind of trade they were going to make when they traded Giannis.
Yes.
Miami is going to try to now build around Bam Adebayo and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, that's what they're going to try to do. Like, Andrew Wiggins is not a superstar necessarily. I guess he's a piece they could dangle because he makes $30 million a year. But what I feared to you yesterday is that Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra are good enough to figure out how this team, who right now on paper doesn't feel like a real threat, doesn't feel like a real contender, how by the time we get to April of next year, that'll be different. And they will be a real threat and real contender. Like, they're not a deep team. They don't have a lot of depth. All that's true. But now you've given Pat Riley 2 superstars to build around. So I think Miami isn't a threat today, and I wouldn't be worried about them today. But I'll make you this prediction. By the time we get to March and April of next year, I think we will view the Miami Heat very differently than we do right now.
Yeah. But it's got to be a quick turnaround for Miami. They can't just say this will be 2 years from now type of thing.
No, they got to go for it.
They have to go for it right now.
The other thing is Boston. And I guess one of the ramifications of them not trading Jaylen Brown for Giannis is, can they fix what they currently have? Because Jaylen Brown's tweeting the other day, "You've unleashed a monster," whatever the hell he said. It sounds like he wants out.
Yeah.
And he knows that the Celtics were shopping him. Now, in fairness, 3 years ago, when the Nets traded Kevin Durant to the Phoenix Suns, Jaylen Brown was shopped then too. There were reports that the Celtics had offered Jaylen Brown to Brooklyn, and he seemed to overcome it.
Right.
He seemed to be okay with it.
I think that was also before Jaylen Brown. One was a champion, and 2 had developed into this this personality in the NBA.
And a Finals MVP.
And he was still finding his way. And so if he had gotten moved off, it's like, all right, every young player potentially gets moved off. As opposed to, I am a champion, Finals MVP, and star of the Boston Celtics. Why am I being shopped?
Right.
I've been available and balling from day one. What about that other guy? Why can't he go? Talking about Jason Tatum. And so it's an ego thing. And so he's the man. He feels like he's the man. Why am I the one that's on the trading block?
Can they fix this though? If you're Boston,
I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be them. It's gonna have to be Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum figuring it out themselves.
Because if they trade Jaylen Brown, which they still could do, and let's say it's the LA Clippers or whatever team you want to come up with,
somewhere far away,
I'm not sure what the return is that's going to make the Celtics better. Like I argued to you yesterday, I didn't even think Giannis was going to make them better in a trade for Jaylen Brown. Well, forget that because that's out the window with him going to Miami. I'm not sure what other trade realistically would be out there where the Celtics would be better. So in another way, that's another reason to laugh if you're a Knicks fan because you're sitting in your ivory tower, which you deserve to sit in. You're the defending reigning NBA champions. It's a very different perch to be in. Usually you're the ones being aggressive, trying to figure out how to become a champion. Now everyone's coming at you. Miami traded for Giannis to beat you. The Celtics are thinking maybe we have to trade Jaylen Brown because they need to beat you.
Right.
Indiana's offseason is about beating you. Everyone's about beating you. But now you wonder with Boston, what are they going to do with Jaylen Brown? It's a fascinating situation.
Right. I mean, we'll find out. I mean, still have a few hours before the draft. I don't think he's going anywhere pre-draft, but you never know.
I'm starting to think the Nets should trade for him. Screw it. We brought in Julius Randle. Let's just go for it while we're here.
I mean, now that would make you interesting. That would make people care. That would make some Knicks fans a little nervous.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, it would.
No, it wouldn't.
It would.
No Knicks fan would be worried about Jaylen Brown in Brooklyn.
Until they played.
Right now, I think the Knicks fan laughs at Brooklyn. I don't think you laugh at Miami. I think you look at them as a growing threat. Mm-hmm. They're not the threat yet. There's still a lot of work to be done. But when you add a top 5 or top 10 player in the sport, an NBA champion in Giannis Antetokounmpo, as skeptical as I am about how he's going to age, which I stand by, the Miami Heat clearly are a bigger threat today than they were yesterday. And so the landscape of the Eastern Conference begins to change. And as far as what the Knicks are going to do, here's what we know. Mohamed Diawara is coming back on what appears to be a team-friendly deal, and he's an important player because if the Knicks are going to repeat as NBA champions, obviously you've got your core guys who need to stay healthy and play well, but you're probably going to have to develop young bench pieces. Mohamed Diawara's got a lot of potential, and maybe he has an expanded role next year. There's no lock about the other bench pieces coming back. I think we're going to learn a lot tonight about what the Knicks do in the first round. I mentioned this to you yesterday. It's been growing steam that they should trade out, not only to get future assets, which would help them because they don't have a lot of future picks based on the Mikal Bridges trade, but it would also clear cap space potentially or clear room under that second apron to bring back a Landry Fields, to bring back a Mitchell Robinson. So what the Knicks do tonight may not be about who they draft because it's very possible they're not going to draft anybody, but I think it'll be about what's their plan moving forward. So tonight's an interesting night. I'm pumped up.
Yeah, I mean, you should be.
I'll tell you one thing I don't want, though, and don't look at me that way, Sean. You're not buying me a Julius Randle jersey.
Well, I owe you a jersey. He's the star that's come here. He's the star that's promised, and I think you and your son's going to get nice Julius Randle
He's
jerseys.
going to be the leading scorer.
Michael Porter Jr.
No.
Michael Porter Jr.
It's going to be Julius Randle.
Michael Porter Jr.
The ball's
player
going to go
not,
to,
no.
You know what's going to happen. The ball's going to go to Julius Randle, and it's going to die. It's like a black hole.
Here's the other problem, and you just nailed it. I watch the NBA, and I love the NBA, but it's impossible to watch a player all the time unless they're on your own team or they're on the Knicks. So I have, just like everyone listening has, an unfair advantage when it comes to analyzing Julius Randle. Like, I just don't look at his stats and say, oh, yeah, he's three-time All-Star. I put up numbers. I watched him here. I saw the good. I saw the bad. I saw the things that drove you nuts that are going to drive me nuts. But no, let me clarify, Sean. We made a bet many months ago. It was involving the Jets, which was odd, if they were going to take a quarterback in the first 35 picks of the draft. And they didn't. And so I won the bet. And that means whoever the Nets select tonight at 6, you're buying 3 jerseys, one for me and one for my 2 sons. So whether it's Mikal Brown, who I think it's going to be, or it's my dream of Darius Acuff Jr., though all the experts tell me, shut up, Evan, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, we'll find out in 10 years when he's a star.
I think I saw one that said he was going to be the Nets pick.
Who said that?
Just one.
It's not. It's not.
Showed it to me.
Well, whoever showed it to you, it's not going to happen. I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to be wrong about that. But I know the big Australian. And by the big Australian, I mean Sean Marks. I know him very well. He's not taking Darius Haycuff Jr. It's not happening. It's going to be Mikael Brown, or he's going to get cute with Adi Mara, or something else.
He is going to do that, and it's going to beg the question, that we always keep asking.
Are you cueing the song? Is that what you're doing?
How does Sean Marks still have a job?
There it is. It's going to beg the question.
Well, he did make a good trade last night. As much as I have a love-hate relationship with Julius Randle, the Nets did get better. But no, you're buying us the jersey of whoever is picked at 6 tonight, okay?
All right, not Austin Reeves. You want the jersey whoever's picked at 6.
Austin Reeves? No, not Austin Reeves.
Okay.
And if they trade back, whoever they take with their first-round pick.
All right. What about a 28 when they take Zuby Ejiofor? You want that?
No.
The Knicks are taking him.
The Knicks are taking Zuby.
We're breaking down Zuby to the Knicks at 24?
Zuby to the Knicks.
You know why Tiki and others keep saying Zuby? Because they don't know anybody else.
That's right.
It's like I heard Craig say that the other day, too. He's like, you know who the Knicks should take? Zuby. I'm like, yeah. Everyone's saying Zuby because you don't know anybody else.
Who the hell else is in this draft? I get 19-year-olds.
We'll get to your calls next, 888-808-1019. Whether it's about the Nets making a trade or Knicks fans sitting in their perch laughing at what everyone else is doing. Plus, Steve Cohen and the New York Mets, they're about to get a tongue lashing. Because even though they didn't play yesterday, they embarrassed themselves at the highest levels. But right now, it's time for the Yankee turning point of the game. Be the first call to correctly identify yesterday's turning point at 866-540-WFAN, 866-540-WFAN, and you'll receive a $100 Wendy's gift card from our friends at Wendy's. Eat great, even late at Wendy's. And it's from your flagship station for Yankee baseball, The Fan, our friends at Town Fair Tire. Remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine.